Today we are going to look at pointers and strings. Now in this class, you are going to understand why it was so important for God to create man. Now, what is a string? We are still going to do a class on strings, right? But I just want to show you how useful a pointer is to a string in this class. So what is a string? A string is an array of characters terminated by a null character, right? So you have something like this. You have something like lion, right? This is a string. Now, L is a character, I is a character, O is another character, and N is another character. Now, you will notice that I'm using double string for a string literal, double quotation mark for a string literal, while I'm using single quotation mark for characters. Now, how are these stored in memory? So you have something like this. So you have L, I, O, N, and then you have this, right? So a string is an array of characters terminated by a null character represented by this. So this is null character that is used to terminate a string. So the compiler is going to check. Once it gets to this place, that is the end. So if this does not exist, then it will read into the next memory. So I am going to write a C program to demonstrate or illustrate the naming of animals in the garden using this concept of string. Now, I told you that in the memory we have the text segment, right? Which is what? Read only. Read only. So you cannot modify it. Now, a string literal, which is this, is stored in this text segment. So you cannot modify it. Now, if this is an array of characters, and now try to access this. If I try to access this and modify it, let's say I name it spirit. Spirit. So this becomes a pointer to this address. And then if I try to do something like this, 0, and I change this L, which is capital L, to what? To small letter. This will throw me segmentation error because this is stored in a read-only memory. So trying to alter it will throw me an error. Or trying to modify what is inside this place will throw me an error. So the only way I can do that is to copy it into an area that I can modify. And that is what I want to show you in the naming of the animals in the garden, using a C program to illustrate it. So let's write a program to illustrate this string literal. So first I will say hash include stdio.h. So this is pointers and what? Strings. Here I will say include std library.h because I'm going to call my malloc function, so I need it from this toolbox. This include string.h. There's another tool I need to get from this toolbox, right? I hope you can see, or I hope it's not too small. Now let's write my program. Int main. So the first thing I'm going to do is, a string is what? An array of characters. So the data type is char. Now I'm using a pointer. So I'll name this spirit. And I will assign value to it. I'll call this lion. So I told you that I was going to explain this concept to you when I get to string. but this is what? Pointers and string. So we are having something like this, spirit, right? This is stored in the what? Text segment of the memory. So this is read only, right? You cannot modify it. So this name is like what? The essence of the animal. So Adam was seeing the essence of the animal even before he saw them physically to give the name to it. So what will he do to bring this essence down to the physical dimension? So the next thing is what? Cha. I will name this animal. So in the physical realm, there has to be a memory space created for that essence that you've seen to come down. So what we do here is to, at runtime, dynamically create a space, meaning the animal has been physically created. So that is what we are doing here. So char, typecasting, what? I will call my malloc function, and I will assign 20 to it. So what this means is I am giving this space to whatever name I'm going to call. So lion should be able to occupy the space I am going to allocate in the physical dimension. So when I create an animal, I am creating a space to take this value. That is just what this stands for. So I am typecasting to character. Malloc will return a void um, data type. So since I'm using it for character data type, I'm going to typecast it. So that is what I have done. Now, the next thing I'll do is to check if the animal has been created in the physical realm. That is what I want to do. So, animal, I am using a pointer to point to a memory location that has been created dynamically. So, meaning I have created a physical animal that I'm going to give this name to. But just to be sure that it has been created, I'll bring in my if. So I'll test if animal equals to null, print f memory allocation failed. So return 1, right? Then close this. So I have tested. Now, if the animal is created, then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use another function from this string.h, and that is what? strcpy. You know, in string, you do not assign string value. So what I'm going to do is I have to take what is in this spirit, right, and bring it down to the physical dimension. So I have to copy it. I'm going to copy this name from here into this body, into this animal. So I'll say string copy animal spirit. So the syntax for this string copy is strcpy destination and what? SRC, which is what? Source. So the source is what? Spirit. And the destination is what? Animal. So I'm copying what is inside this spirit into this animal. That is what I've done. So where did I get this strcpy from? It's a tool inside this toolbox. So that was why I included this string.h in my program. So this is what I have done. Now, the moment I do this, I can now say print f animal is %s spirit, animal. So since I use malloc, so I can call my free function free animal. When it is no longer needed, return 0. Then close this. So meaning every animal belongs to God. So at the end of the day, when you no longer need it in the physical realm, it will die. Right? That is the same thing as free that memory. That is what we just did here. So I'm calling the free function to release it. So this is my C program to illustrate the concept of pointers and what? Strings. So that shows you how powerful it is for God to have created man. So first, we have a pointer, which is pointing to the spirit realm, right? And then you are having this name. Then you create another pointer again, pointing to the physical realm, meaning a physical body has been created, which is the animal, right? And then you have to name it. So the first thing is to check whether the animal has actually been created in the physical realm. That is why you did this. If it is not, then you will know that it will throw you an error and to print out memory allocation failed, meaning no animal created. Now, that was successful. Then you come here, you take the name that is in this spirit and then you copy it into animal and then you print out this value. So when you run this, it's going to print out lion, right? And then when you no longer need it, you free that space and then you return 0. So this is a whole program showing you pointers and strings, right? Um, if you want to be able to modify a string literal that is stored in the memory, it means you have to declare it. You're supposed to declare it as an array. So that will bring us to the next class, which is what? Actually moving from pointers to what? To strings. So let's go to code blocks. Let me demonstrate this for you to see. And then our next class, I'll teach you strings. If there's any topic I've not covered in pointers, please let me know in the comment section. This is our code block, pointers and string. I demonstrated this for you to see the naming of animals in the Garden of Eden. Now, for this one, this is a pointer to string literal. So this is stored in the text segment of the memory, which is what? Read only. Now, animal is created in the physical realm. That's like memory allocation. That is what we did here. And then we check to see if it was actually created and it is confirmed. Then you have to copy what is in the spirit, which is in the text segment that is read only, and you copy it to what? To the animal, and then you print out the value. So this is going to give you what? So this will print out animal, lion, right? That is what you are seeing. Now, this is like saying that the word, which is what? The logos, right? Is what? Is eternal. But the manifestation of this logos in your life has to do with what? Your choice, which is what? Malloc. And then how you free it when that season is over. That is when you call the free function. So this is what this is basically about. So the static memory, which is the text segment, is read only. Now, for you to modify it, you have to copy it into the heap, which is what? Taking what is in the spirit into your heart through the soul. So without the soul, you cannot access the heart. That is basically what I'm trying to show you. And then you manifest it in the physical dimension, which is what? Your body. So that is what I am trying to show you with this code. So in the next class, I'm going to teach you string as a topic. Like I said, if there's any topic I've not covered under pointers, please let me know in the comment section. I will treat it for you. So till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.